gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about guess where their food got left. Uber Eats customer tells driver to wait at gate and follow cars into complex. Actually speaking, this has happened to me before, and it's amazing how some customers can just request the most unreasonable things that drivers just can't accept as a request. Like at that point, that's an open invitation. Just start the timer, let the timer run out. You take the picture and you dip. But maybe there's more to this story. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub drivers of all kinds, and their corresponding customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Delivery customers can leave some pretty strange and confusing directions for their drivers. For example, a Domino's delivery driver recently claimed that they were once instructed to shout their arrival at the gate in lieu of knocking. A few months later, a Doordash customer became irate when a driver ignored their instructions to bring them their order while they were in the pool. Like I said, some customers can leave some unreasonable requests, and some of them, they're like not that big a deal. If you're at a hotel and the pool is just right around the corner from your room, I'm not gonna be too upset about that. But if I went to the 4th floor of your hotel and you're at the pool, why would you tell me to go all the way to the room when you're not even there? That's something else that happened to me. And instead of knocking, you shout. Doesn't that defeat the entire purpose? Like, you're just trying to cause problems for the driver at that point. Like, it honestly seems that way. Like, they're not even trying to get their order, they're trying to be a problem. Now, another case of particular directions has gone viral thanks to Reddit user u/johnsmith5306 in a post with over 10,000 upvotes. In the Uber Eats subreddit, the delivery driver shares the instructions that a customer left for them on a recent order. The things you do for content, huh? But honestly, I don't know what Reddit is like in terms of upvotes. I know that upvotes actually costs money. Like, you actually have to pay to make an upvote. But what does it take to actually run a successful Reddit? I actually want to look into that.
This Uber Eats driver got a note from the customer that they did not like. The note says, gate code does not work. You will need to follow behind another. Cars come anywhere between every 5 to 10 minutes. The gate will stay open long enough for you to have time to follow them in. They also continue to say, I'm working, so I will not be able to come down to meet you.
I'm going to have to put on my double seeing glasses because I can't even begin to see the amount of coming from you.
Yeah, that's the most annoying thing to me. Like, there are customers that expect you to come down to get into certain places without having the proper ability to do so. Sometimes they'll ask you to wait at the gate and wait for somebody to come in with absolutely no regard for our time as drivers. That's something that I would flag them for outright. It is irresponsible to work with customers like that. Then there are other times where they give you the wrong call box code, but they're in a class, so they can't come and open the door for you. Like, what kind of unreasonable expectation do you put upon us? What kind of jerk do you have to be to do that? And you know what the worst part is? Those kind of customers, the customers that have unreasonable expectations, typically don't tip very much. So it is completely irresponsible to work with customers that don't tip well entirely. It's just a profile at this point. Guess where their food got left? The Redditor asks in the post title. The post was then reshared by TikTok user at Movesfinancial, who has regularly shares Reddit stories about delivery and rideshare platforms. I'm going to leave their TikTok as well as their profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions. Also, another note about Movesfinancial specifically, they actually do have some sort of banking system for gig workers. I don't know enough details about it in order to make a proper decision on whether it's good or not. But that being said, maybe give a look into them. They claim to try to help gig workers. Maybe they really are. What do you do with this order? Asked the TikToker. Many users on Reddit stated their view that instructions like these were disrespectful to the delivery driver. They are 100% disrespectful to the delivery driver. Their time, their energy, their resources. It's amazing how many of those type of customers claim that we're entitled and then they leave instructions like that. And there's nothing more entitled than expecting somebody to work for free and then to go above and beyond for free. The lack of respect for people's time is astounding, wrote a Redditor. I don't care if you're working and can't come. No one made you order. Exactly. Like, if you're gonna order in for work and you can't get to the door, I understand that. So you make it a contactless delivery. But make sure we can actually get to the freaking door. This is straight up dangerous to ask if someone offered another user. They're telling the Dasher to literally try to follow somebody else in as if the person won't notice the car who was waiting outside the gate following them in. Great way to get the effing cops called on you. Actually, I will say this. In some neighborhoods, it's just become so normalized for people to do that they're just kind of whatever about it at that point. They're a little weirded out, but they're like, okay, fine. Although I will say this, let's say they're one of those gates that are literally timed to only let one car in at a time. That's irresponsible. Like, that's really messed up that you do that. I get a lot of deliveries to houses with gated driveways out here. They like to ask for leave at the door, detail the third. I'm not hopping your fence at 1 a.m. to deliver to your door. I'm leaving it on the mailbox, taking a picture, including your closed fence, just in case. I actually had a similar issue on that as well. I had a pharmacy delivery to somebody who had a gated driveway, and I was waiting for a long time for them to just answer the call box or answer the phone. It was to the point where I had to send the pharmacy order back, and of course by the time I was right around the corner, that's when I get the call, and then he was upset that I didn't throw the pharmacy delivery over the gate. Some people said I should have in other videos where I mentioned that, but I made more money on the return. Don't ghost your drivers. And not to mention, the pharmacy itself actually stated, I would not want you to do that. That's actually bad for us. He actually gave me his card and said, hey, let me know if there's an issue. I will defend you in that right, Mr. Oliver Ruiz. On TikTok, users continue to express their disapproval. I've had this happen. I'll tell them I'll leave at gate. Magically, they give me a code claimed to user. Isn't that amazing? Once they realize they're gonna have to put in a little more effort, now they'll actually give you the information that you need. If gate code doesn't work, how those other cars getting in? Questioned a second. Because they're residents, they probably have some sort of fob or some sort of button to just open the gate. What they're asking us to do is to wait for a resident to return home, and that's just not okay. Nope, if you can't grant me access to a gated neighborhood, then your food gets left at the gate, declared an additional TikToker. I would at least wait the 5 minutes so that way you're protecting yourself. Like you said, hey, I tried opening the gate, I tried waiting for you, I've tried everything in my power to try to get to your door, and you chose not to respond to me. You chose not to provide me the proper information so I can get to the gate, so I can actually get in. Therefore, I'm gonna have no choice but to leave it at the gate. Have a great day. So that way you're protected at the end of the day. Don't screw yourself in hopes to screwing them. That just doesn't make sense. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. If a customer requests something this unreasonable of you, it is irresponsible to work with them under any circumstances. It doesn't matter if they actually couldn't do it. It doesn't matter if their intentions were pure. It's irresponsible. If they're that entitled, then they're dangerous to work with. These are the kind of customers that don't tip their drivers very well. They wrongfully give you bad ratings, wrongfully cause account violations, such as wrong order delivered or order never arrived, and in this case can actually cause extreme lateness violations on Doordash, let alone the account notices on Uber Eats. Like I said, this doesn't make sense overall. Like, what are you supposed to do? Magically make them pick up the phone? That doesn't happen. They're also the kind of customers that ghost you when you actually need them to pick up the phone, and then they complain when things don't go their way. And not to mention that they will also be the kind of person to call tell you exactly the moment they said their order arrived and they see it was at the gate. Like, why didn't you wait and send yourself in that way? Because I couldn't. Because no one was coming. Because I should have had the gate code already, and your behavior was just outright irresponsible. All in all, just make sure that in the event that you do receive an order with instructions like these, you send them a notice that that's how it's going to turn out. You contact support, so that way you also are protecting yourself as much as possible. And then you make sure you never work with that kind of customer again. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.